let me know if you hear something you like. You can just leave the mics open.
I would start with everything in so we can know the contrast of what you're putting to it.
All right, I gotta hear it though. But all right,
yeah,
I'm gonna have to turn it up. And I'll stay on it for like maybe a quick 10, 20 seconds.
Right. Just what's the name of this one again? Puzzle pieces or?
What's the name of this?
Pieces of the puzzle.
Right.
Pieces of the
I would just try to stay with the to me it has some of that Arabian type esque, but to you it had something else.
Yeah.
Just wherever the sound is, just try to stay next to the that desert Sahara feng shui. Put that in the background. Let's just hear what it sounds like. You know what that reminds me of?
Huh.
That game Ninja Gaiden back in the day on Nintendo.
Yeah.
Kind of fuzzy. Kind of muddies the waters wherever that.
Yeah, it's because it's like a trance sound.
I mean, that's not hateful.
It's not bad. Write down B215.
I like that one.
Okay, write down boy 215.
Lay it under. Let's see what it sounds like.
Lay it under with the resonance turned down or the volume turned down?
Put it in the mix. I would bring it up just a hair. How does that sound in your headphones? You got the better ones.
Sound good, huh?
Yeah, I like it.
It's level.
It's got that Konami vibe to it.
Let's, before I move on, because I know we still want to search, right? Let's hear some bass behind it before we move on.
I kind of really like this one. I don't want to search anymore.
I know, but there's so many more. We have to investigate a little bit more, Daryl.
But I think because I'm with her, if we all agree on something and it's not hurting the song, we actually like it.
Okay, let's hear the bass behind it.
I think it fits right in. But again, you're at the helm. If you wanted to see if you can find something else, I'm not going to oppose it.
I think you have it written down, right?
Yeah, I have it
So we can always resort. I'm not hearing anything offensive with it at all.
Brother.
So it's not like I don't disagree with you guys, but we got 1,000 different things to run
Brother,
through. Yeah.
if you feel like Christopher Columbus, explore.
I feel like Daniel Boone, brother.
Which ship was Christopher Columbus on? Was it the Nina, the Pinta, or the Santa Maria, or were those the ships that were in escort?
That's a
that's
question.
a history lesson right there, bruh.
Angie says she thinks it takes away from the bass.
Ooh.
Really?
Play it again. Let's listen.
And this is the song she named, by the way.
Right.
Yeah. I think the bass was a little too loud. It wasn't balanced very well. So I think maybe that's why she thinks it takes away from the bass.
Well, if it takes away from the bass, that means it's comparison in the same.
They're battling for the same
same
room.
sound. Yeah.
So let's continue to search.
Okay.
We have it written down.
Yeah.
And here's what you probably guys are forgetting, that this portion had bells. Now, I don't know if we still have the bells on cue.
We do.
Okay, play the bells so we can hear the contrast on why we're trying to leave the bells, because we thought it sounded too sharp.
Yeah, the bells weren't meshing very well with it.
So let's hear the bells again so we get a contrast.
Yeah, see, I agree with Angie. There's something not balanced, and I think it's Lamar's bass is a tad bit too loud.
Doesn't sound. Okay, his bass doesn't sound loud in mine.
Yeah, mine.
at all.
It's
sounds-
just really faint in mine.
Yeah,
It sounds loud in mine.
it does in yours. You know, I could be very bass happy too. So
And you tend to be very bass happy,
So if anybody's bass happy, it's my black ass.
but he can be too.
I'm just afraid to turn down because in my headset it's different from you guys, and if I go lower, I'll be playing off a muscle memory.
So you know how we corrected that problem last time?
Huh.
You put in earbuds.
Yep.
Yeah, but they freaking hurt my ears, man. I'll go down a smidge.
And I haven't moved my volume
Angie,
at all
is
from where it always is.
Uh-huh.
And your
And I haven't
bass-
touched mine.
And your bass is a tad bit too loud.
And see, and I haven't touched it. It's the same volume as
But
yesterday.
this is a different song.
It is.
Angie, let us know if the bass is too loud on your end. I'm just going to turn it down to skosh.
And what is she listening on? Is it earbuds? Seeing these bells just sound god awful sharp to me.
Yeah, I
I just don't vibe with them.
don't like the bells. Okay, do me a favor. Bring in the other one again.
Oh, I have to. You have to
Okay.
read off the number. Hang on.
B215. She's listening on AirPods, which AirPods are pretty good. What up, Frisbee? so much better.
Okay.
And Angie agrees.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
And I really, really like that B215 in there.
I like that one too.
I like it
And
too.
so did Angie.
All right. So I'm not.
She's like, yeah, it's much better.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not disagreeing by a long shot.
Sail your ship, bro. Can you look up the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria and see which one Columbus was on, man?
He was on the Trusto 101 ship.
Yes, he was.
So we're getting ready to sail
And
on that
then,
one.
you know what I told him if he wasn't on board?
I'm leaving without you.
We
Get out of my
are
face.
leaving.
No, I like that one better.
Oh, get the hell out of my face.
Yeah, I think that's what the unbalance was. It was that
The bass was too loud.
yeah, and I love the bass.
Right.
Yeah, but if it's too loud, it's too loud.
It's
and
too
I wish
loud.
I had
Yeah.
the appropriate
Yeah.
headphones. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me just fish for a couple of more sounds and
Okay.
see if I can't change your guys' mind.
Okay.
If I do, I do. If we don't, we don't. And we know we got something good.
Got it.
Okay. But we can all agree it wasn't as sharp as those bells were.
Yeah, I don't like those
Okay.
those bells. Those bells aren't for this song.
Damn, those kind of work too.
Not so much broken up. That's kind of phaser-esque.
It's a saw pluck. Let me know too, Daryl. Use your mic. I don't want
Yeah,
to keep breaking my
yeah.
neck. Okay.
Yep.
Because he's lost in the sauce.
Yeah,
so
I'm-
I'm letting him go with the ride. All right.
I'm listening.
does not.
No.
Sounds good on the beat break too.
Yep.
Sounds good on the cutoff too.
Oh, do your little thing on the piano. I bet you it'll sound nice with it.
Wait, when it's all the way up or right, like when it's right here?
Right when you had it lowered. Can you muffle it a little bit? Yep.
Turn this wave stay down a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
There we go.
Yeah, and Lamar, don't you play with him on this?
No, for the most
you-
part, I stay quiet while he
okay.
does this, and then I'll maybe do something ambient here and there,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that's where this just comes in.
Because that sounds cool with that.
Yes, kind
Right?
of got that like Chinese feel.
It complements
to
it
it,
a
yeah.
little bit. Yeah, Angie says she's really liking it.
She better is her damn song she named.
There you go.
So, I mean, this would probably be the only portion where I would play this is when we're in a beat break.
Yeah.
Because
I like the volume though, where you brought it down a little bit.
yeah,
It's so much
it's not so pitchy.
hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we would have to figure out where in the beat break we implement that. But that's not the issue right now. So let's continue back on with the task at
Yeah,
hand.
finding your supplement or substitute for the bells.
So that was the B226, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yes. It got so bright and full, like reverberation, you know? So at this point, I wonder, before we move on from this sound, should I add a little bit more reverb and see what happens? Or you think it's like the sound is good where it is? Because we could still like modulate the source a
I would
little
say find your sound first
and then go into other options with it. All right.
before you start dressing things up.
Okay, B226. You got that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you okay over there?
He's having a seizure.
Oh, dang.
That shit slap.
of his synthesizer man with his chest hair and his arm out flailing.
Yeah, that meme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that's more like Michael Myers type thing, right? That's like new school horror. So 80s, so pure.
Yeah, you're gonna have to move on from that one, homie. Yeah. Lamar's gonna have to write like a whole completely different
That's what I'm,
bass for
and that's
that
where it's
one.
taking me, honestly, Meryl.
Yeah.
It's not even.
Yeah. Completely different bass. You in a completely different song
I'm glad
now.
because that's where I was going.
You're right.
I thought I was by myself.
No. I'm right there with you. He's in a completely different song.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing at this point. We've lost our way.
Jesus. Focus.
every number I named, they're in the category of poly key. And the one we're listening to now is David 348. David 352. I kind of like that one, Daryl.
My favorite is still that
226.
second. Yeah.
Me too. I'm gonna enter a different category.
I'm playing everything under the fucking sun over here. Like I am just like
I'm saying.
I don't even know where I'm at.
I think we should just go back and choose between the 215 and 226.
Because if you have a plethora of these,
Yeah.
we'll be here all night picking and choosing.
I agree.
What's the rush, though?
There is
Like,
no rush. But when is enough going to be
Yeah.
enough?
What do you keep searching for?
the perfect sound.
No,
But what if
there's
the perfect
never
sound is
the perfect
875?
sound.
Wouldn't you want to get there then?
No.
Maybe not while we're live.
But that's the whole point.
To get to number 875 and we just made it to 12.
Maybe it takes us 2 or 3 live shows to get there.
He's driving.
This is your captain.
He's the
Out.
captain. I'm just going to navigate with what the captain says.
Jesus.
I mean, he is our captain. If we go against the grain, it's full-on mutiny.
I am the captain.
Yeah, but he's driving right now.
Who's really driving this ship? Really?
Don't you put me in between the waves.
Really?
I'm not saying anything.
Uh-huh.
I'm not involved.
Who really has the full control?
God damn it. You do, Marilyn. Oh, God, you do.
I will not have speak of mutiny on this ship.
Imagine if Christopher Columbus had mutiny on his ship.
Babe, I went, who really has full control
Yeah,
of
don't
this
you
ship?
dare.
It's a coup. It's a coup.
It's a coup.
I can't even say it right because my voice. assistant captain over here.
Oh, simply.
And says, I say, let the man cook, damn it.
Let the chef cook.
Thank you, Simply.
Time out. Who's in the building right now?
The only two that have said hi is Angie and Risky.
Hello.
The only brave souls to say hi. You know,
That's
we
because
got
everybody else is probably watching the debates and stuff that don't really change our lives.
Oh, I don't think they've started yet.
Oh.
Yeah. You know, oh, you mean the puppets? Yeah. For the Illuminati?
Or they. They have
Hey.
multiple names.
Yeah.
Or the White Owl Association.
Yeah.
Or Geppetto.
Yeah. What's the other association? The one that Hillary was apparently involved with?
Abandon Everyone to Their Deaths Association.
Yeah.
That's just, yeah.
We have a new person in the chat. Michael M says hi.
Well, hello, Michael M.
Hello, Michael.
You know what you have to? I can't do it because of my voice, but you guys have to shout out in the house
Oh, okay.
for Michael M.
Oh, well, shit. We'll take time out for
Let's
that.
take time out for Michael M. in
Wait.
the house.
Hold on. Should I turn on the lights?
No, let's just keep the vibe.
Keep the vibe? Okay.
Keep the vibe. This is going to go quick.
Okay, ready?
Let's go.
Oh, do I have it up? Yeah.
This time, I'm not starting it off.
Well, I can't.
You're going to start it off.
Eminem's in the house.
Eminem's in the house.
Let's go.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Oh,
Michael M.
y'all know what time it is.
Michael M.
Michael M's in the house.
Michael M is in the house. Hell yeah. Michael M is in the house.
You know that's right.
Michael M is in the house.
Hell yeah.
You know Michael's in the house.
Eminem.
Michael's in the house.
Hell yeah.
I said Mikey's in the house.
Hell yeah.
Mikey's in the house.
Mem, mem, mem.
We just talking about Mikey.
Mem, mem, mem.
He says he loves Dave Smith synth.
Ooh,
Dave
hey.
Smith
you-
said.
oh, I know what he's talking about, too.
Yep.
Okay, and we're back to the business at hand now. Oh, he don't see the Solar 42F either, does he?
Oh, no. Let me see. Does that overhead one get it? Did that over...
No,
me see,
it
hang
doesn't.
on.
We have to change it.
No. Does the monologue one get it? Let me see if the monologue one gets it. Oh, the monologue one gets it. Yep.
Okay.
There it is.
The captain says, we are leaving.
And there we go.
Maybe he'll settle on something here in the not too far distant future.
Oh, I don't know. We'll have one of those SpongeBob things that says 5 hours later.
5 hours later.
You know, this is something that we can do in our 24-hour live stream.
Yeah, for real. It'll go to full 24 hours.
Michael M says, wow. I don't know what he's saying wow to. Was it the shout out? Was it the Solar 24? Is it my voice? I'm sick.
And
I
that's Solar
apologize.
42. Don't cut it short.
Yes,
by 20.
Sorry,
yes.
the Solar 42. I'm
F.
sick.
F.
I'm
F.
sorry.
Yeah, that sounds like a mass murder. Hold on. Keep it there.
Which one's that one?
You like that one? Category is the mallet.
Damn it.
Yeah, the mallet
Yeah, that's the
category.
category is the mallet. Boy 338.
Let me vibe with this a little bit.
Okay, I think I'm pretty close to settling on what sound I'm liking.
I actually like that sound. It's not harsh. It's not in the way.
That B338, the one that he just found.
This one right here. Yeah.
Yeah,
How do you feel about it?
I like it.
Yep.
Okay.
But if we have to say that to one more, I like it. How many do we like so far?
I'm going to get up and smack him.
Yes, please. You have full reign.
Yeah.
How many do we have on there on the list to choose from?
We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. 2 I absolutely dislike. This last one is my number one pick. It bumped my number one pick.
I'm going to say the same. Ditto.
Yeah. Yep. Risky says that bass is just so damn chunky.
It's chunky as hell, ain't it? Mm-hmm. This shit chunky as hell. Like Campbell's soup chunky.
It is very much disco.
That's what we were aiming for, right? This is the disco clown video we're making?
Is it this one?
I think it is.
Pieces of the puzzle?
Yeah. Or now it's subject to change. Like, remember the whole theme was this disco clown trying to find his way to like the circus disco, the ultimate disco.
Yeah. But like you said, it could be.
It could be
whatever.
changed. Yeah, it could be
Okay.
whatever.
Let me just hear 3 more things, and then
Are you serious?
I have to just look at these categories. Sorry.
Oh my Lord. I'm sure as the assistant captain, he's going to have something to say.
He's going to say, let the captain captain. Come on, Max, shake your head. This shit vibe hard.
Okay, what don't you like about it? I mean,
I like
it's
everything
really
about it.
almost
It's
a
vibing.
dry signal, too.
Yeah, it's vibing for me. I got no complaints with it. I'm just waiting to do my thing.
All right, I just got a couple of more to hear, and we can just move on to whichever one the two of you decide. I'm more than happy to go with because I didn't hear anything I didn't like personally.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you liked all of them. What was this one?
Category is pluck. And it's boy 378.
Okay.
together a puzzle. Or maybe that.
I'm just going to try 2 more things and we can move on. Okay, what was your favorite one?
Under mallet B338.
What was yours?
Pluck. What was the pluck one?
The very last one that he did, B378.
Pluck,
Okay.
Pluck B378 and Mallet 337. Oh, just Mallet 8.
No, mallet B338.
Mallet B338.
Okay, my favorite one was 226. I think it was Boy 226.
Under the poly key. That was my first favorite one until you brought in mallet.
How are we going to do this?
So Lamar liked B226 until mallet was brought in.
But now you like
And
what?
then
Wait, what was the last one? The very last one he plays, the one I like too. That was the pluck one, right?
But then I thought you said mallet was your favorite one.
Until I heard the pluck one.
Uh-huh.
But though I'm not going to split hairs with anybody.
The pluck one was 378, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Mallet and pluck, I'm good with.
Mallet and pluck are very, very, very similar. I think mallet meshes a little bit better than the pluck one does.
This is the pluck. 378.
I think I like it because it's more organic. Sounds like a new school Jason horror film. You know what we have here, Marilyn? It's one of those old-fashioned Mexican standoffs.
This is what happens when he doesn't listen to us.
Now play Malik.
B338. I feel like we're playing bingo.
B38. They're pretty much the same, honestly.
Very similar, but I feel like this one meshes in a little bit better.
I could do either
Yeah,
or.
see, I like this one. This one to me is a little bit more disco. And it sounds so nice with the bass.
It is spot
Right?
on. I'm not arguing with that fact.
Yeah. When you brought this one in, I was like, oh, hands down, this one is like, I immediately was like, nope.
Okay, let's go to 226. What was it under?
That was under poly key. Yeah, see, even Angie likes this one.
Yeah. I'm not going to split hairs over it. They both sound together like the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Unity says hello.
Hello, brother.
Brother.
Did you sacrifice any goats at Mount Kilauea or Mount Vesuvius?
Okay, this is 226.
Why is all the shit we like all sound pretty much the same?
Because it meshes well with the song and our ears know what sounds right. Obviously.
And this has so much the reverb, you know,
Put
like
the beat so I can.
hang on, let me hear it.
And I know why I like this one in the beginning, because this one has a little bit more
Reverb.
room to play with than the other ones do.
I mean, I really like this one.
Yeah, and I think I'm going back to this one now that I heard all three of
I'm
them.
on this one too.
Yep. Because you have more room to play around with this one.
Right.
And then
Hold on.
and this one, you can play with that machine with it.
Yeah, I ain't got no beef with it. They all sound similar to me. I mean, I like it.
like this one a lot.
Me too. That shit slap, Daryl.
I like this one.
Okay, you happy?
Yeah. Let's send it on Poe.
Okay, hang on. All right, let's see. Oh my God, Sarah says, Marelyn, you sound like a 14-year-old boy going through puberty.
She went from a chain smoker to a
Dude.
14-year-old boy
boy.
going through the puberty.
My chest don't feel like it though. Okay, you guys ready?
Ready.
You do. Okay. Are you good now?
I got my singing juice. Let's go.
All right. This is for Poe, Sarah.
All right.
Make sure Poe's listening. All right. Ready, guys?
Ready.
Go.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's send
Side. Not rich, but Poe is in the house.
Hell yeah.
Got Poe in the house.
Hell yeah.
There's Popo in the house. Hell, whoop, whoop, whoop. There's Popo in the house. We not rich, but in the house.
I'm going to whistle now.
We just Poe in the house.
Hell yeah.
I said little Poe in the house. Not talking about Edgar. Just Poe is in the house.
Hell yeah.
I said, goddamn.
Wait, aren't you the daddy?
I'm that baby daddy. Miss Monroe, where were you the night of?
That's hilarious.
It was, okay, so who's with us? Welcome back to the music podcast thing that we do.
What's
For
the
all
name of
those.
this song we're trying to figure out again?
Pieces of the puzzle.
Pieces of the puzzle.
Yeah.
I can't wait till you do this video. Are you going to put everyone in puzzle pieces?
Wouldn't that be cool?
Oh, that would be
That would be
awesome.
dope.
And you start to make them all like come in to make this one picture of Angie sitting at a table doing puzzles.
It should be like an Arabic. It should be an Arabic puzzle with
Arabic puzzle.
with a retro feel to it.
Okay, so
What happened to the disco clown?
Ish.
am I?
Oh yeah.
Am I the one that does the videos, or are you?
Yeah,
guys?
you do.
Okay.
Well, I'm just throwing some stuff out there, just spitballing the.
Yeah.
Okay.
So wait, so I was on the phone earlier, and oh my God, here we go, here he goes again, just pushing buttons.
I can't help it.
So I was apologizing to the lady because it was really hard for her to hear me, and she was like, "Oh, don't worry about it," and she's like, her best friend is the head nurse at one of the hospitals here, and she was saying, just so you know, apparently, the the what did I say? What the RSV?
Mm-hmm.
That
RSV,
yeah, that
Robert Victor Sam.
apparently is only found in kids, has apparently started mutating, and adults are now getting it again. Because I was telling her like what my symptoms and stuff are, and she's like, "Yeah, adults are now getting it again," and it sounds like that's probably what you have. And her best friend said that her ER is filled with people right now sick with the same symptoms that we all apparently had. And their number one complaint is that their lungs just absolutely are killing them and they can't breathe. And of course, they don't have like antibiotics or vaccine for it because it's just now starting to mutate into this new cold or flu or whatever it is. So, yeah, good times.
Yeah. I mean, now you sound like a nervous 14-year-old boy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I want
Right.
to jump in that water.
Yeah.
I don't know if I got it like I had it.
Yeah.
Shall we cross the street? Wait a minute. Too many numbers, not enough letters. Oh,
Yeah,
my
it's
God.
so crazy. And I walked 10 feet and I'm completely out of breath.
Now you knew what I was. Now you know what I was going through when I was going up the
Yeah.
stairs.
It's insane.
I was waxed.
insane.
I'm glad I caught the milder version of it.
Completely out of breath. It's wild.
And I'm like really just now feeling better.
It's like that whooping cough or whatever that only kids, like babies, get it, and you get. Sarah's asking what's mutating.
The RVS.
Yeah,
RSV? I don't know.
yeah. It's like whooping cough when little babies get it. You know how they get vaccinated when they're teeny.
Mm-hmm.
That is mutating, and now adults apparently are getting it, and it's something that only babies and maybe small children get it. And as an adult, you're not supposed to be able to get it at all.
Right.
You carry that virus in you, so that's why they vaccinate babies, because you may have that virus in you and you can give it to the baby, but it won't affect you as an adult. But apparently it's mutating, and now
Turn the mixer volume down, would you?
and now it's making adults sick.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely got my ass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It did its justice in the house.
Yeah.
Why is everyone watching this show and no one's watching the debate?
I don't think the debate's on yet.
Why is he so worried about the debate?
That's probably
Because
why.
because I thought we were going to be completely dead today. Instead, people prefer us over some lame ass debate.
Hang on, Sarah. I was asking a question. So I thought we all got shots for that. We did as babies.
It's now mutated.
Right. We're not supposed to get sick as an adult, but it's mutating now, apparently, as adults.
I got OD'd on a chickenpox vaccine. They gave me too much of it. They called me like the Auglaize County Health Department called me. It was like, you know that vaccine we gave you, for the mumps, shingles, and chicken? I was like, yes, I'm aware. Yeah, so I don't know how to say this, but we gave you too much. and I'm like, okay, well, so
What does that mean?
Yeah, give me the bad news first, please. Well, the bad news is it's not enough to cause any harm, but let's just say you won't ever need it again.
Damn.
We tested your blood and it is like through the roof with the rotella vaccination.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I think I should have probably like some form of lawsuit. There should be some litigation. I'll have to just maybe speak with the head honcho in charge.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You should probably
Story of my life.
check that out. And I think the debates don't start till 9, I think.
Mm.
Yeah. I'm glad I'm not political.
I'm glad I'm not really missing much.
I mean, it's just a bunch of clowns talking back and forth, right?
Yeah.
And they got to mute each other's mics. So
As
they-
long as I've been alive, I still don't know if any president in office has truly helped us and our situation.
Right.
Because if they truly wanted to help us, wouldn't we see change already?
Right. Yeah, and that we can't, I'm not going to single anybody out, but we as a people, we can't freaking decide on anything on what's good for us.
No.
We're too busy hating each other over whatever freaking politic belief you have, and shit just nothing gets done.
And they're having a debate, but they're going into the debate with strong dislike towards each other.
Right. It's not debating the topics. It's just debating how much I can sabotage this person's campaign.
Right. Could you imagine if they went into it all positive and peaceful and spiritual?
And like, how can we solve gas prices?
Right.
Well, I have an idea, but it may cost a few more tax dollars. Well, I have an idea, and it may not cost as much tax. Oh, well, how about we just join our ideas up and see what best splits the medium for the people?
Right.
Oh, what a great debate. We got something solved.
Yeah. You know what? I came in here with the plan, and it seems like your plan is better than mine. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to drop out of this race, and let's see where you drive the country.
Right. And I'll help you. If you don't mind, can I help you assist, and maybe some of my plan can help better yours?
Right.
And then we can have this common goal to do right by our people.
Right. Oh, yeah. That sounds good. Let's take this back to the House and vote on it.
How about we go after this debate and have dinner together and figure this whole thing out?
Right. There's an issue with the immigration status. There is. I've noticed that. And a lot of them.
Wait, that's what I'm here for. You can't just talk to yourself without. Go ahead.
Oh, I notice there's a problem with our immigration status.
I've been looking into this, and I'm kind of concerned about it as well.
I don't think they're all a bunch of no-gooders.
No, they're really not. And I represent a lot of minorities, and they just want their voice heard of how they get over here legally and stop those that are coming over here illegally.
Okay, so do you think we need to deport them all and send them back and then vet them as they come in?
The ones that came here legally will be doctoring in, but the ones that came illegally, I don't know how we're going to spread our resources to get them out.
No, I think you're right about that. I do believe there's millions of people still waiting on the waiting list just to get in the legal way.
I'll tell you what, if those that came in here illegally violate our laws and we can catch up with them, we'll deport them back ASAP.
You got a good point there. So let's deport the ones that are here illegally because, I don't know, every other country does it and they have strong migratory laws.
Yeah.
And crime seems to be on the uptick. And I think we just defunded the police for about 4 good years. You think we messed up there?
I don't know. I think we might have shot ourselves in the foot with that one.
How can we come back from that? Can we both come to an agreement?
I think we can. Let's start with allocating resources and funds to our local police department.
Because if you want a better police department, you have to allocate more money. That way you can weed out the knuckleheads too.
You want to go get some fried chicken?
I don't like fried chicken, but damn it, Daryl, let's go.
I'm Daryl.
I don't know why I called you Daryl. Wouldn't that be the best way for the politics to go?
That's how the United States should work, because after all, it's in the freaking name.
You would think, right?
Can anyone even, does anyone even know enough about the candidates that are running to say they're going to make your life better?
Yeah.
Truly.
And would they do it at a minimum wage cost?
Wouldn't the community...
No, definitely
Yeah,
not.
answer my question.
Right.
Would you do what they're doing on the Hill at minimum wage cost?
No, I need my special interest groups, and I need to keep people confused. Damn it, this is how we do it.
What if we had no bureaucrats or lobbyists?
Right. What does it look like then? What do people truly know about anything other than what the media says?
Right.
Let's be honest. This is probably why the three of us aren't political.
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't know. And all we know is what hasn't been done and what is continually being not done.
Somebody else had this conversation, and they were like, well, you can always just go look up, the bylaws of what's on the bill, what's being passed. And this. Do you know how many things are on their docket that gets passed and vetoed and this and the like it's so much. It would be a full-time job to keep up with politics at that level. Hence that's why we pay a representative to do that shit.
Right. And when you have lobbyists, and me and Meryl, we both know a lobbyist, they spend money
to push their agenda.
They have ideas that they want to cross. And guess what? No one gets to vote on that.
Right.
We, the sheeple, we just go, man, and that's it.
Yeah, when you have money,
we go along with it.
When you have money, aka Big Pharma, you're able to do things like that. You drive the narrative if you have the money.
Right. And I wonder how many people still think that the voting system works. If you look at it how I'm looking at it, and I'm not saying you should, but it looks like an oligarch system to me.
It's a lot of shit that's in the computers, and we don't know who has access to change and divvy out numbers.
And I don't know anyone, at first people were saying, oh, Obama's going to take our guns. We still have our guns. Oh, well, Obama's going to let a bunch of immigrants in. Well, that wasn't true. Obama was one of the only presidents that the Border Patrol Agency dubbed him the immigration exportation king. He was kicking people out of this country left and right, more than Trump ever had.
Right.
But people don't want to talk about that.
Right.
Like everyone has an idea of what's going on, but all I see are people fighting with each other over concepts that have been influenced in their mind, and it sways them and it makes them feel great.
It's the almighty dollar.
And they all want to just hate each other. Like if you ever want to win a war against the U.S., the best way to do it is to get them to fight with each other. Right. Because we are really great at fighting with ourselves.
Right. We can't compromise for shit.
No.
Risky said it the best. He says, how about they take a page out of the book of Risky? Hey, man, you're a bit better sounding than I am. I'll just be your assistant if that's good with you. That way, we both basically got a job.
Word.
That's word. And that's risky business.
I mean, that sounds like a great plan.
It is totally risky business.
Yeah.
Every
Makes sense to me and work for the better of everybody.
Right. Everyone's ego is at stake with this presidency race. And we're not political people, and we really don't talk about this shit because we strongly dislike it. But we are Americans, and it is imperative that, one, if you believe in the system, go vote. If you believe in what is truly going to make a change in this country, I implore you, go vote.
Right.
But I just want to say this. Really think about what's going on. Do you see anything changing no matter who takes the office? Mm-hmm. And be honest with yourself. Because if anything changed, or if everything changed for your way of life, what's left?
My ex-wife, we were in Wyoming at the time. And at the time, she voted for Hillary, right? During the Trump thing. And it came back, her ballot came back, and it was scratched for Trump. They literally changed her vote.
That's insane.
And so when she went back and said, this is not who I voted for, they said, oh, sure you did.
What?
Yeah. It's things like that. If
you have to fight a bunch of people who have positions that have strong ideations in which they believe.
And this is this is not like online. This is actually go down to the ballot box and put your thing in the box.
Yeah, because we lived in
Wyoming. Yeah, everything was do it yourself.
Yeah.
Nothing technologically advanced in that state at all.
No.
I just don't see things changing for the better of people like us. And I don't mean black. I don't mean white. I mean everyone who has a sound mind as to what their change looks like for the better. It's not going to come from this system.
And the sad part is both parties have great ideals and values, but
They don't know how to compromise.
They don't know how to get their egos out of the way.
Right.
You know?
And no one wants to hear, oh, you're a Democrat? I don't want to hear what you have to say. I'm Republican. You know? And everybody forgets the U.S. was built on both systems.
Right.
It's because we're in now the era of your opinion is now fact.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And if these people were really spiritually inclined, like they're Christians, they're Muslims, whatever, you would think their religion would make them behave to the ways of making people's lives better. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't.
It doesn't. Well, that's implying that people see, and again, just because a person has a religion, they're still corruptible and human.
Right.
There's no way you can emulate your religion to the fullest.
Right.
That's first and foremost.
Yes.
Once you give that up, then you could talk about morals and values on a different subject.
Yeah.
It's the same with politics.
I just know enough to know I don't have a dog in a race.
Mm-hmm.
I can honestly say I don't have a dog in a race because bullshit will be bullshit and it will continue to stack on our shoulders.
Well, and here's the most important thing. You don't need lobbyists or bureaucrats or any of that. All you really need is the people to come together, to come together and dictate change. Because after all, we are the ones that can truly, ultimately force change.
Right. Could you imagine all of Auburn City? Everyone who lives in Auburn City, shit, even Waterloo. We all went to an auditorium and said, you know what? We are totally going to disconnect from the government and we are going to do this thing ourselves. How can we better our community? How can we better longevity? How can we better gun control? How can we better the school system? How can we better mental health? And let's all figure it out as a community and let's thrive. If a community can do that, then the government has no standing ground. We don't need you. We don't need your money. We don't need Federal Reserve because we've figured it out.
Right. We have our own trust.
We have our own trust.
We put into our community, and that's the cycle that we choose to do.
And we have accountability. We pick up our trash.
And that's good. But here's the thing with that, and the government, and Maryland knows this. The government will say, you can do whatever the hell you want, but by the end of the month or the year, I want my taxes.
Facts.
And you know that's fine. I mean, as long as the taxes are being used for,
you have no control over that.
For the good of the country.
You can hope in one hand and shit in the other when it comes to your government. If our taxes are being, what did we figure out yesterday? $3 billion of our dollars are toward keeping the space station.
Afloat.
Yeah.
And what about the black budget? What about the budgets that you don't know about that they don't disclose?
You're right. That's not even inspected by the Congress.
What were we watching yesterday? You had something playing, and I think it was for. Oh my God! I think it was for the COVID budget, and it literally was. I think it was Trump saying,
"Oh, he was listing off a bunch of things we're spending our money on."
Yeah, and it was like literally to all these other countries but us.
Right. And you know, it's funny that Trump wants to hire Elon Musk to watch over the spending for the Fed, which isn't a bad idea. Like, we need to keep account of where everything is going.
But it's still appointing somebody that's already wealthy and has money.
Right.
They're going to look out for their best interests first.
I mean, the harder I looked, at first I was like, well, I guess we got to pick the better devil. And in my mind, I was like, I guess the better devil is Trump. There's nobody really in his pocket. And, you know, he didn't do anything different than any other president. I don't care what you tell me. Like, he may have made some changes, but it all got reverted back.
Right.
You know?
And even
And it-
then, when he was in office, Congress wasn't together.
Right.
There
And
was still some upheaval.
And then they did the same to Obama. They did the same to the Clintons. They did the same to Bush. They did the same. You know, it just like I don't think I'll ever have a dog in a race. I don't even know what to. I don't even know what to identify
Always,
as. Like,
always,
what
always said politics was a rich man's sport.
it is. It's a rich man's sport. We can't keep up with it, and all of the secret handshakes. There's no way to know what politics is anymore.
Right.
And I think that's the biggest reason why we stay out of it. But I would just hope that our politicians, they either find their God, source, whatever, and start thinking about the people and where this planet is going to go. And there hasn't been one president to do that.
I think that's why we always find ourselves in these tiny little towns.
Right.
Yeah.
far away
from the
from
big
people.
And I
Yeah,
always
the
say
big
this is like the
city.
last of America, you
Yeah.
know, like where people still look you in the eye, shake your hand and say they're going to do something
Yeah.
and there's not a contract behind it.
Yeah.
It's that man's word is his bond,
Yep.
you know, and do right on to others.
Yeah.
Pick up the trash on the roads if you see it. I don't care if it's yours or not, you know, be accountable.
Yeah. Have pride in your little
Have
town.
pride in your town and your life,
Yep.
you know, and teach people, hey, look, this is what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to get off the nipple, you know?
Yeah.
We're going to have to figure it out ourselves.
Well, no matter where we ever moved, we always knew our little town, our people.
Right.
Like we know everybody 3 houses that way and 3 houses that way and all the 3 houses in front of us.
Right.
Like, and that's a big, I mean, it may not sound a lot to the viewers who are seeing or hearing this, but if you walk 3 houses down, that's a lot of miles in these small little,
Right.
because
Yeah.
we're separated 5 to
by
10
acres.
acres at a
Right.
time. So that's a lot.
Right.
It covers a lot of distance in these small little these communities.
I just wish people will wake up and realize all this stuff on the media and all this presidential race stuff, they're almost for certain selling you a bag of goods to sway your emotions.
If you just take one day, or not even one day, but like every day, and go out and just pick one individual that you normally would never have a conversation with, and just go out there and say, hi, how are you? But mean that, how are you? Truly
Right.
mean that, how are you? You would be surprised at how much in common
You have.
you have with that individual that you normally would have never spoken to. And then you would start realizing, holy shit, like the media is like feeding me a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and pick somebody you like you said
Yeah,
that you would never
normally
ever
never would have a conversation
somebody that you would
with.
judge as to be beneath you.
Yeah.
I'm not saying people do that, although they do, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying come out of your comfort zone.
Yep.
And if they're willing to engage in a conversation with you, talk about things. Like,
Yeah.
how are you struggling? Like, I'm struggling. How are you doing today?
Yep.
And if they are willing to like be vulnerable and tell you, and then you say something like, I'm starting to believe the news and all these other outlets are feeding me a bunch of bullshit.
Bullshit, yep.
Because it's designed for me and you to dislike each other.
Yep.
It is.
And we don't even know why, because we've never met.
Right. And then we're believing in something we don't even know 100% about. Like what, and be honest with yourself, people. How much do you really know about politics? And be fucking honest. More than likely, you only know what you see on TV. And I know plenty of people like that
Yeah.
who don't do
I'm like
research,
that.
who don't study politics.
I'm like that.
I'm like that. If I see it, I go, oh, this must be true. Or, oh, yeah, he makes me feel angry and he makes me feel like I should be a patriot. And she makes me feel like I should be looking at certain things with the taxes and the rich people and let's hold the rich accountable. And You know, like, what do you really know about politics?
Mm-hmm.
And if you really look into it, and if you really look into what you're digesting, why are you letting people you don't know sway your emotions one way or another? Stand on your own 2 feet, have your own mind, and figure out what's best for you. Because the country is not trying to figure out what's best for you.
And I got another thing, like with immigration. Does anyone in this room, if there was an honest to God, legit illegal immigrant who came across here illegal with the family, right? Because it's so bad where they came from. Let's say they came to our doorstep, 2 kids, a husband and wife, and they are starving. And they just said, you know what? We're just starving for tonight. We don't know where we're going to go. Could you help us with something to eat? Not saying giving them money, maybe give them something to eat. Are you going to turn your back on them and say, no, because you got here illegally, get the hell off my property before I call IHS or ICE?
Right.
Or are you going to feed them for the night? Maybe give them shelter if you could.
Right.
What do? I'm curious.
Do you turn your back on humanity? And what your thought process is towards immigration, a person of color,
Set that aside.
law enforcement. What?
Set that aside. And what do you do for the night?
Right. What do you do for another human? Who are you really? Because most people, I believe, they're people of Fox Network, and some people are people of CNN Network, and they are happy with just being fed that every day, being fed the unknown, the lies, and they are happy just to go along with it. Rarely do we have people on this planet that shut out the noise and make decisions on their own and not be swayed by other words and
Give me other like congressmen or people like that.
right,
Yeah.
and funny other tactics.
Yeah.
And
I bet you those same people would feed that family if they came to the door. You have to have a cruel heart to turn your back on another, on other human beings like that.
this debate will be another debacle. It will be another battle of lies. It will be another thing that goes down in history to where we will be back in the same place 4 years from now looking at zero change for us. When do we get tired of it? Because it's never happened yet. If the Democrats were so good, why are they still not changing things that they're trying to run for? If the Republicans are so great, why haven't they changed things that they're still trying to go for? They've all had their fair share in office.
But did they really? No one had a fair shake in office because the Congress and the parties can't
get along.
Freaking agree. You can't get a fair shake if you don't want to listen to each other.
I'm telling you, I'm excited to when we're done here to go watch the replay of it because it's always fun to watch a shit show.
It is. It's comic. It's comic relief.
Especially the way we look at it. It's like it's entertainment at this point.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
It's an important time for Americans. I get it. And
Yeah, we're not trying to take away any of people's political beliefs.
Yeah.
We're just trying to give our opinion on the
Just seeing it in a different
light.
In a different
you
way.
have to. There's polarities to everything.
Yeah.
And just do some critical thinking.
Yeah, and come outside of your norm and your reservations and what the media tries to portray like humanity right now and hate and don't listen to that and just go out and say, hey, how are you? And truly mean it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll start questioning what the news is really telling you.
Right.
We do it all the time. All the time. And we've had wonderful conversations with people.
Yeah.
Amazing conversations. I mean, we just had an amazing conversation with. We had to get our septic pumped today, and the gentleman that came out. Normally, people would not have a conversation
with him.
Him.
He's probably in his like 60s, maybe.
Yeah, and
hard worker.
yep. I mean, let's be honest. He had a uniform full of poop.
Right.
He pumps poop all day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, he pumps your shit all day,
your
people.
shit, and people will not
Those
take.
of you that's still on septic.
Yeah,
Right.
that it won't take the time to go out there and have a conversation
Right.
with him, and we did, and he was a wonderful man.
Wonderful
Probably
man.
agree with you on a lot of shit.
On
Smart
pretty much
man.
everything we agreed on. There wasn't anything we agreed on. And he agreed, even with the politics, he was like, it's, I've been here a long time. It's all a shit show.
And he was you could tell he was a brilliant man.
brilliant
Like,
man.
He was smart. And when he was done, Lamont went to go shake his hand. He's like, you don't want to shake my hand. I have shit all over my hand. He's like, that's why they make soap and hot water inside.
I was right there, and I shook his hand too. And I was like,
Shake
bring
my
that shit over
hand.
here.
Bring me your
Literally.
fucking,
Yeah.
I
Would
used
you
to have,
wash my hand?
I literally had horse piss and shit on my hands every
Yeah.
day at work.
Yeah. And-
You're not telling me anything. I know what hard work is.
Yeah, and that's bringing humanity back into the world. Like, let's stop being so disconnected with other human beings because the media tells us to.
Right.
That
Like,
that's how we should be. No, we shouldn't be that way.
And that's
Right.
why I like yes theory.
Yeah.
Because that's why they went to Iraq and Afghanistan. And guess
Right.
what? Those people are the same as you and I.
Yeah.
Oh, our government says we should hate you, but we don't believe that shit.
Right.
I don't even know you.
Right.
I don't know
Right.
you to hate you. How
Yeah.
could you hate somebody you have never met?
You
Yeah.
did nothing to me personally.
Yeah, right.
I forget what YouTube channel I was watching, but the dude lived in I want to
B said, I forgot what I totally forgot Unit E was on. He said, nothing wrong with wastewater.
Nothing at all.
I
Unit
completely-
E works in the
Yeah, I
wastewater
completely
business.
forgot. Yeah.
And that's hard work. Like,
But
but Unit E actually cares about the environment, and he loves what he's doing because
Word.
it's a way to protect ourselves.
But I'm saying there's so many people out there that would see that completely different and be like, ew,
You're just a shit worker.
Right.
I'm not touching you.
Right.
Like,
Right.
Yeah.
oh, I'm not talking.
Right.
Like, get out of that mentality and see that individual as a human.
Right. Because
Being.
you're no better.
Right.
You're
Right.
We're an
you're
equal.
saying you're not flawed and you're better.
Yeah.
You're better than some people, and it's not the
if I
reality.
If I cut off your arm and I cut off my arm, we both bleed red.
Mm-hmm.
And
Same
we're
shit.
both going to die if we don't take care of it.
Same
Right.
shit.
Right.
Yeah.
And I forget what YouTube channel I was watching. And it was some time back. This dude, I believe he lived in Yemen. And he has a YouTube channel, if I could ever find it again. And he was making it a point to go around his little dwelling and talking to people saying, hey, how do you feel about the Western culture? And a lot of them said, I love the Western culture. I love what comes from the culture. I love how we can implement some ideas, but they're not perfect. But we don't know anybody from the Western culture. And we would wish that they could come here and teach us and we can learn from each other. I love where I live. I never want to leave where I live. And everyone he interviewed said the exact same thing. Not one person disliked anything from the Western culture. They would implement some of the things that they liked about it into their own lives. And they wish, and here's the other thing that he was saying, they wish they had some of the same democratic properties that the Western culture has. So they can feel like their voices are heard and they can
and get change.
and get change. And women are like not in the great place in Yemen. And
Well, in third world countries, because the great dictatorship, that's what you get.
right.
You don't get a voice.
Yeah, and he was saying like, why do you think it's so hard for you to make contact with these people on the Western Front? And he goes, they're afraid of us. Because their media says to be afraid of us, and our media says to be afraid of them.
And we know who
And
owns.
they're all killers. But we know that everyone is having struggles, and we know that it's just the leadership in these countries that are dividing us.
And we know who controls the media, and that's what Yes Theory does. That's what they were about.
They
They're
break
about
the narrative.
going to different countries
Right.
and talking to the people on the ground, the literal citizens, and getting the real truths. And they got no flack, or everybody was like wearing the Coca-Cola shirt or something that was westernized. You know,
Right.
It's like we all go hand in hand. But it's these barriers we put up that divide us. It's the great civilization divide.
Right.
Fictitious borders.
There's a white guy, and I have to say his race. There's a white guy, the wife and I watch. His name is Harold Balder.
I love watching that dude.
Harold approves. And he just travels the world. And I'm telling you, dude, he's much like Kurt Cass.
I know. Yeah, I like India when he goes there.
Right. But he just defeats the given narrative.
Right.
And here's this bald white guy going in places where they say
You should
they're
not go.
going to kill you.
Right.
You should not go. And he's encountered terrorists and this and that. No one is, and he'll tell you, even the terrorists, no one is looking for those type of Westerners. They realize that they are a contributing factor to their economy. But what they are looking for are the no good Westerners. You know, the ones in the uniform sometime that try to dictate and say how they should live and
Yeah.
can't mind their own business, and especially the ones in the business suits. And our troops get over there because the ones in the business suits have an issue with everything. And they don't want to send themselves, so they much rather sacrifice their warriors, which is complete bullshit. But let's call a spade, right? And he just proves all these narratives wrong. No one's never out to get you. Are there crazy people in every country? Absolutely. He shows them. You know, are there people that will want to scam you and do weird things? Absolutely. You get that wherever you go.
Yeah.
So you just have to be careful. No matter, I don't care if you walk down the street here in Auburn, you have to be careful.
Yeah.
Not everyone is your friend,
Right.
but not everyone is out to get
kill you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it make you a deadly afraid to leave your country and talk to someone else and experience life in a different way.
I'm so guilty of that. I'm like, for a while, I've been terrified to leave the country
Same here.
because I've been programmed to think
It's all horrible.
and like you said, there's bad places in every part of the world. But now I'm starting to realize that is not the case.
Yeah.
She tried to get me to go to Costa Rica years ago, before Costa Rica was even on a hype swing right now, right? And the only thing I kept telling her was, it's a third world country. As soon as we get out there, they can do whatever they want. They can incarcerate us. They can plant drugs on it. They can plant drugs on us. They can kill us. They can rape you.
This dude.
And not you.
His mind just went
And-
like crazy.
And I have zero, bro.
What
I
if
have
they-
zero facts to back any of this up.
Right.
I'm only going off what my country tells me, what my politicians tell me, what the media tell me.
Mind you, I've been to Costa Rica my whole freaking
I
life.
mean, but you are Costa Rican.
Right.
Yeah.
And she just
So
sat there
take
and
it
looked
from
at me.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was just like, you don't know how wrong you are.
I'm like, it's my country. I
Right.
would know.
So
And
that's
all you got to do is really, honestly, you just got to shut up and let her do all the talking.
right.
Yeah.
But so that's the point. That's just a conversation between her and I, some small family in the middle of America.
Right.
Now imagine the whole country with this mindset, and there's not one foreigner to say,
You're an idiot. Listen to
you
me.
guys have this wrong. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe in this side of the country where, I don't know, cartel or you just don't know where to go in our country.
Right.
But majority of us are solid
Man,
partying
you
people.
you can get more static by landing in certain parts in Chicago,
Right.
Detroit,
Than you will in Turkey
Watts.
somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure they're out there, but I'm telling you, you got a good chance in the States for your own people to wax that ass.
Right. I think people are really The only reason why this is happening is because there is a language barrier. Give it a year or two when AI can really take off and we all get our phones. We leave these antiquated phones and we get better phones that can instantaneously
Translate.
and
They have apps that do
Yeah,
that.
they do.
now.
Okay.
Google Translate.
Right. Or maybe an earpiece where if
No,
there's
they have apps now, even better than Google Translate.
there you go. We get an earpiece in. We hear them speaking in their language, but it's coming into us English.
Yeah.
Imagine what happens when the communication no longer has a border.
Well, which is good now, but you still gotta. So there would have to be like dark channels that we can communicate with because they'll shut down Facebook. They do that now. If if some sort of uprising pops off in the country,
First thing Russia does is
they'll
shut down YouTube,
shut down all internet
shut down
access.
X. That's what Brazil is doing.
Because if you can shut them up, if you can quiet their voices, and no one knows that they're going through this, then you can easily shut them up.
And yet we keep voting for the same people.
But it's not us shutting it down. It's the other countries. Look at our poor Russian friend.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
We're saying those countries shut down the internet.
So it's not us voting. It's the other countries who are
Shutting
shutting
it
it
down.
down. Yeah.
Because it's going to change the narrative.
Yeah.
If the people start talking to each other, it will change the power
Yeah.
at B
Could you imagine
narrative.
Could you imagine if it all started like France is notorious for uprisings, like they do it
Right.
like annually.
Right.
Could you imagine though if there was something so big, like those kind of uprisings caught like wildfire, like
Right.
bam, it pops off in Brazil, then it goes to Morocco, then it hits parts of the U.S. and then the UK, and then all next thing, China, Japan, all these countries, a global uprise.
Right.
What does that look like?
Right. And people were saying, and we might get slack for this, but I'm gonna say it anyways. The whole Black Lives Matter thing was the perfect uprising. No, that was an uprising based on falsehoods of what happened. And if Black lives truly mattered, the African, I ain't even gonna say African American, the Black American would have accountability in their areas and stop killing each other. And I'm not bringing any other race into this because it specifically was about Black Lives Matter. And if it truly mattered, those people in those poverty areas should know better. You kill more people than the police kill. And if you looked at the statistics, police kill more white men than they do black people. But the statistics didn't get out there like that. And the guy they made the martyr was a real shitbag if you looked at the whole picture. And why is it just Black Lives Matter? Here we go again with putting people in boxes and categories. Why not all lives? And why are you getting offended when I say that? Are you not for the people?
Or you just for a certain color of people?
Right. Don't we all matter? Didn't the head of Black Lives Matter buy a home in white suburbia and spend all the money?
Right.
and didn't put a dime into the agency or the organization?
Yeah, it's in the organization now dissolved or something.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's these things that we think we're doing right, but we don't take the time to investigate.
And that issue, just to get out of that real quick, that issue is about self accountability.
Right.
And that's all that is. You're not holding yourself accountable, but you want to poke and blame fingers at others. It's BS. It's the same reason why Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg, and all these other rich people now that left the hood, that's why they don't live in the ghettos.
Right.
Because they know. That's why they moved to nice areas.
Look what happened to Nipsey Hussle.
He stayed in the hood and they killed him.
His own people took him out.
And he was doing good, trying to do right by him.
Yeah. He was trying to get jobs for like that dude was a modern day Jesus.
Right. So a lot of these people that make it out of the hood and they have money and they have wealth, I'm sure they'll try to give back to the community, but they'll do that shit fucking 800 miles away.
Right. Football players, a lot of them are really good with doing that. but they choose not to put themselves in areas where they can be harmed.
Because they fought and ran their asses off to leave that area because they know it's harmful.
Right. They live that life.
Smart. Risky says, it's been said for years and years, united we stand, divided we fall.
Word.
They wouldn't even willingly stand by and allow humanity to connect that way.
Right.
Angie said, they are already adding AI to the phones. Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Lamar, get ready for your wink. Ready?
Oh, is it bug?
Ready? Canada
Hey,
says
baby
hello.
girl.
Hello. I don't know why I got to say hello like that every
I
time
don't
her
know.
Because
ad
she's
pops
so
on.
proper.
Yeah,
She's the
yeah.
one that has biscuits and tea.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to swing the conversation.
Swing it.
A little bit on the lighter
Swing
side.
it. Let's swing it. Let's get up out of this darkness.
Yes.
Darknesses.
Before we hopped on, I was doing some stuff for our Etsy store that I'm super excited about and we'll be posting soon. But I was watching a really cool documentary
Yes, you were.
on Hulu.
Who knew?
Yeah.
Who knew?
And, you know, we were talking about, we have a video on our long form side about who's, you know, following the twins and aliens and stuff. And, you know, what you guys saw up in the air and what we saw up in the air. And we're always talking about looking up in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always said, why aren't we looking in the ocean?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I truly believe our biggest aliens and our ones that we haven't found yet are in the ocean. Because wasn't it like 90% or 85% of the ocean has
Is
been
Unexplored.
Yeah, right? It's like a huge,
We know more about space than our own ocean.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. The documentary I was watching, and I'm fascinated about this animal. So whenever anything pops up
Oh, let me
about
guess.
it,
Let me guess, Marilyn. I got my hand up. Can I guess?
yes.
The octopus.
Yes.
Fucking, I'm in love with the octopus.
Oh my God. Anytime anything pops up.
Right.
I watch it. A wild guess of how big the biggest octopus in the world is.
1,000.
From its tentacles stretched out.
Mm-hmm.
How big do you think?
375 feet.
No. It's equivalent to
100 feet.
It's equivalent to the size of a school bus.
60 feet.
30 feet.
30
feet.
Yep. It's called the giant Pacific octopus.
Wow.
Jesus.
It is the biggest octopus
Aren't
in
they
the world.
like, see, so the way you look at them, right? They're all head and eyes.
Yeah.
And tentacles.
Aren't they like one of the smartest adaptable
Yeah.
species in,
Oh my
in the
God.
ocean?
Okay.
Meryl, you have to go in on this.
So the octopus is so smart. Its brain neurons are so fast. It is 3 times faster than the human being.
That processing speed is amazing, bro.
It can figure out a problem within 1/5 of a second.
Oh, no, I'm glad she said that. Be- synchro-
1/5 of a second.
synchronicity. They had an octopus on this ship, and there was one cutaway spot that it had to just go up and crawl through the
I
middle.
saw that.
This thing observed its surroundings and said, oh, I'm just going to exit that way. Made its way to it, used its tentacles, because they can get into small little spaces, pushed itself right through, had his tentacles back behind him to lower himself in the water, and off he went.
Yep.
Are you serious?
With the ease. It looked at its surroundings. It's so smart.
The brain of an octopus. So the brain is connected to all the muscles in the body of an octopus.
And they have a complex nervous system, right?
Yes. So it can, if it's one of those changing, like it can change its color and everything. Its brain can change 173 times per hour. And it doesn't have to send a signal to any of its tentacles to change, because the brain is connected to every single muscle.
They have a mind of their own.
Yeah. The tentacles will do it on its own.
Automatically, self-defense.
It already knows what to do. Its brain doesn't have to function.
It runs on muscle memory.
It knows what to do.
That's
That's
amazing.
wild. So each one knows what to do.
So did they tell? Okay, so now God, this is a great rabbit hole. What kind of conversation, and is it able to communicate? Does it have its own language?
Okay, hold on.
Wait, hold on.
No, I know where you're going with this.
Can it communicate? If it had something like a neural link on it, could it communicate intelligently with humans?
Yeah. No, wait, hey, hold on. Before you answer his question, because
How you gonna cut my question off and answer his?
Hold on. Before you answer that question, you cannot forget, because it's right on point with what he was talking about.
Okay.
You cannot forget to talk about how complex the mating ritual is, babe.
Oh, that was crazy.
And it will answer a lot of his stuff on intelligence.
That was insane. So as far as communicating like with humans.
Wait, hold on, time out.
Huh?
Since when did you get your goddamn octopusology degree?
I didn't, but
She's
I
an
saw.
octopusologist.
And why do I feel so compelled to like ask you these goddamn? You're no marine biologist.
As long as I've known this woman,
yeah, but she's into it.
she's delved.
Yeah, you
deep,
watched it.
deep
You're in it. But
into
go on.
octopus communication
Yeah, but go on.
protocol.
Give it to me.
I love watching.
Give it to me.
What's the protocol, Daryl? Give it to
Well,
us.
one, I love watching documentaries.
Right.
Like when I'm working in the office, that's usually
what you do.
Yeah. And I love octopuses. I don't know why. They just fascinate me. And I truly believe they are the aliens of the ocean.
Oh, I
it's
100%
insane.
agree.
So this one particular documentary that I was watching, this doctor who was studying them, she was literally communicating with this octopus that she was studying. I think she named the octopus Stella. And so they developed this relationship. And so the octopus would like put out, or she would wait for the doctor to put out her hand, and then the octopus would reach out one of her tentacles and almost like do a handshake. Like she would wrap her tentacles around her hand and like squeeze it, like if it was a handshake.
Get out of here.
And then she would like examine her all around, and then when she was done, she would like swim away a little bit, and she would stop, and the octopus would turn her head and look at the doctor and take one of her tentacles in like almost like this waving motion, and then swim again and stop to see if the doctor was following her.
What?
And she would wave again with like her tentacle. And then as soon as the doctor started swimming behind her, she would stop doing that, and she would be like, okay, she's following me. And so she would take the doctor with her on her little hunting adventures to go find food.
Really?
So this octopus was like communicating with the doctor.
Yeah.
You see, this is what I'm talking about. And you know this octopus has been around or has evolved, right?
Oh, yeah.
Its species is so, number one, I don't even think it's from Earth per se.
No.
Like, how do we know how this smart ass creature got here?
Right.
If there's anything that looks alien in our ocean, it is the octopus.
It is just fascinating.
And there's far more things that look way weirder, but yeah, I agree.
But the fact that it can tell a human, hey, come with me.
Yeah.
And I'm going to show you how to forge the ocean. Like, how do we like look at that and go,
fascinating.
It's like one of the most fascinating things I can think about.
And it would show this doctor how it would hide. It was almost like if it was showing off
when you're in threat
for her.
Yeah, when you're in fear, hide.
It would change its color and stuff and mimic the rock and then hide.
Like,
and,
look what I can do.
yeah, and it would pop out and like show her what it was doing. And then it saw like a crab coming, so it would hurry up and hide and nestle, and then it would grab the crab. So it was hunting with the doctor there. Normally they don't do that. They don't do that in front of much less a human being.
So I wonder if, and I'm sure somebody has to be working on this. Is there a frequency we can tune into to literally communicate with the octopus
Or marine life, period.
or
Who
marine
knows?
life?
Didn't they find the tune and the frequency of the
the
humpback whale?
humpback whale or
I
something,
don't
or was it the orca?
I don't
I
know.
think it was an orca.
yeah.
An orca. I know it was some sort of whale, and they figured out its frequency and how it communicates.
Right.
So there's this other dolphin species.
Wait. Before you go to the dolphin, tell them about the mating ritual and how perplexed it is.
So this particular dolphin species, so the female will collect the
Dolphin species or octopus?
the octopus. She'll collect sperm from the male of when she mates, and until she finds the most perfect mate, then she will have her babies. So she found a male had come around, and at this point in time this other doctor brought in another specialist with her, and he's the leading specialist on octopus life and marine biology, period. And so she brought him down, and the octopus came over, and she was kind of like standoffish because there was somebody else. And she did the handshake with the female doctor, and then she like looked at the other doctor, and the female doctor, was kind of motioning that he's okay, like he's friendly. And then the octopus did the same handshake with him. And so the doctor was like, okay, the octopus has accepted him as well, so we're good. So in this episode, the male octopus came in, and they connected the tentacles. So they introduced each other, and she wasn't having it. She was like, no, you need to do more than that. We're just, not going to do whatever because you just came and said hello. So he had to show her what he can do. His transformation, his color changes, his ability to be able to
Camouflage
and be able to hunt. Like, what is his ability? So basically he had to show off in front of her, but in doing so it could attract predators, and he knew this. But if he wanted to mate with her, he had to do it regardless. So he did it. He showed off, and he was doing this huge dance for her and everything. And she was like, okay, you got what I like. And so she started taking out all that sperm that she was saving from the other two mates. And she just expelled it all in there, letting him know, okay, you're my number one. Let's go. So then he took out his tentacles that only male have, and then they started exchanging the sperm to her.
and trip out on her thought process.
I need to
upgrade my babies. They need to have the best
of the best.
Yeah.
camouflage, technique, color,
Everything.
like, and she remembers the
other
process
the-
of
Yeah.
the other ones.
And then when it's time, she's like, "Well, I don't have to hold on to my insurance anymore,
Right.
or which way I'm leaning.
Yep.
I can let those go because
Yep.
I want this one.
This one.
You know what I should have did when I met Bug? I should have took off all my clothes and painted my stomach red and did a freaky dance. And cacao and hide in the trash can and jump out.
Yeah.
And it'd be like just walking like, ha, ha, ha. Maybe if I had done something like that, she'd probably really be like, yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Or she could have run away.
She could have ran away.
Yeah, she could have been like, this dude, batshit crazy.
But I would have chased her.
It's probably a good idea.
I would have chased her and jumped on her car hood and went, ha, 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 ha.
It's probably a good idea you didn't do that.
Yeah, it's probably wise.
There was an octopus called the blue ring octopus. It was the size of a golf ball.
Wow.
So it's tiny,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, his nickname is the Mimic.
No, this is a
okay.
different one.
Okay.
I don't think you saw this one. You
Okay.
came at the tail end of this one. It was tiny, but it was beautiful. The blue it emitted was gorgeous.
And this is Hulu?
On Hulu, yeah.
I'm watching this shit tonight.
Oh, it's amazing. The amount of poison that this little teeny
Oh, wow.
octopus has
Size of a golf ball.
can kill a human being within seconds.
Damn.
It can kill the biggest stingray in the ocean if it had to. And it's the size of a golf ball.
That thing probably is like a superhero. With great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
So he knows not to just go poisoning things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild in
Otherwise,
itself?
he could literally just be a loose cannon and
Yeah.
kill
murderer
everything in the ocean for no reason.
Murderer.
And it's so docile.
I bet he is.
It just hangs out in the bottom of the ocean. It would rather be left alone.
Mm-hmm.
And if it sees the stingray, it is able to emit such great light with those blue rings that it confuses the stingray. And so the stingray just swims off and it'll leave it alone.
You know what I like too, man?
That's wild in itself.
Yeah.
Bioluminescence.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
going to get to that. Here's something. I don't know what fish this is called, but talk about alien. Talk about like your worst fears of monsters in the deep. And Earth is known for that. Eat or be eaten planet. It's all it's all about. You kill to eat, you eat to kill.
Yeah.
That don't make no fucking sense.
No.
But in the deep ocean, there's this one fish that has this, I call it the light bulb fishing pole. And it comes off his
yeah.
head.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it hangs out right where his lovely chompers are.
Yeah.
And because he's translucent, he goes dark.
Yep.
But his light bulb just flickers.
Yeah.
To see what it brings in.
And it brings in the fish, and by the time they know it,
It's a
Yes.
wrap.
it's a
Yeah.
wrap. How about that?
Aliens in the ocean. I'm telling you, they're in the ocean.
I'm scared of the deep ocean.
It's in the ocean.
Isn't there a shark down there in Alaska, or not Alaska, but Antarctica? He's blind, and they say he's probably like 500 years old. There's this
Like the sixth guild or something.
yeah, this weird shark, and it's been around forever, but it's blind, and it eats with no problem.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Crazy as hell.
Okay. I hate to bring this up, but I have to bring it up.
Oh, no.
Don't take us back to the dark side. We just left.
Why would I go back to the dark
Because
side?
whenever you say I got to bring something up, and I hate to bring this up,
Okay. Daryl, I'm talking to you.
Yes.
Do you believe in mermaids?
shit.
Shoot, I've seen these crazy octopuses down there.
Mermaids don't exist.
I've seen
knows?
some clips on YouTube that looked real, but I know CGI and
Oh, Sarah says it's anglerfish.
Anglerfish. Those
Yeah.
things are.
I don't know.
you don't know?
Maybe. Who knows?
Is there a chance mermaids exist?
They would be found by. I think there would
If
be more
you-
sightings of mermaids.
96% of the ocean is unexplored. Who's gonna find it, Lamar?
Yeah. If you've seen these octopuses that I've seen, who knows?
Yeah, I don't know though.
And if Bigfoot exists, a mermaid would be smart enough to know,
but
get away from whatever is coming. Those are those crazy humans.
I guess to me, I just see mermaids like same category as unicorns. They're like fantasy creatures. That's just to me though.
Yeah, I
I would
don't
think
know.
a Bigfoot would be a fantasy creature too,
Yeah,
like a gnome.
gnomes exist.
Gnomes do.
I wouldn't tell you any different.
Right. There's a species of octopuses that, or is it octopies?
Octopies.
Is it though?
That sounds right.
I like.
I'm
Saying,
gonna go with octopies.
I think I've heard that before.
yeah.
The viewers do not go along with this, please.
We have no
do your
idea.
research.
Yeah,
don't
look it up.
listen to us.
We're just going with a gut feeling here.
We're not proverbially shooting the shit. We are shooting the
Yeah.
shit.
Mm-hmm.
So when they're born, the mother dies. So their lifespans isn't very long. By the time they're 16 months old, they've lived half of their life. I think is what I remember.
wow.
Damn.
What I heard on there. And so literally the second they're born, they're learning. And they learn at such a rapid rate. It's insane. They were following this one octopus, and she was in a part of the ocean that had no coverage. And there was a school of fish that loved to feed on this particular octopus. And you can see her panicking because she was about to be lunch in a second. And so they were documenting this there, for the documentary. And she was like combing the ocean, like, oh my gosh, like, how am I going to hide? The school of, fish is coming. She found 2 seashells. She took those 2 seashells and hurried up and put them together and nestled herself inside
Beautiful.
the seashell.
Beautiful. That's how smart you got to be to live.
You
And-
got to
in the
be
ocean.
on it.
You got to be
You
sharp.
got to be the octopi of MacGyver.
You
Yeah.
have to be sharp.
By the time the school of fish swam over her, it literally looked like just a seashell was on the bottom of the ocean, and they swam just right across over her, and they had no idea.
Nice.
And so when they swam over her and she was in the clear, she just popped it open
Peeks out.
real slowly.
Like a clam.
Yeah, and peeks out one eye and looks around. She's all in the clear. She figured out that, oh, okay, this kept me safe.
Take it with you.
She took those seashells
Shit.
and dug a hole and stuck them in the bottom, like the ocean, stuck them in there and made sure that they were secure enough and left just the tiniest of crack open so that next time she was in that little area,
She had a hiding spot.
Oh
she can
my
hurry up
God.
and go in there and just take her little
That's
suction
beautiful.
cup and close it.
That is wild.
2 seashells on the seashore.
Yeah.
Can you say that really fast?
No, not with this stroke.
Yeah.
Not right now. And so they went back in a couple of days, and she was back in that area hunting again for food. And predators were back, and she hurried up and went in there and hid, shut it closed. Literally, you couldn't tell she was in there.
That's wild.
I love it.
And
I love aquatic life, though.
and the doctors were like just baffled at how she figured out to make a permanent home, and she was safe from all the predators.
See, sea life. It could be. I know sea life is hard, and it is. You have to be sharp, critical thinker.
Yeah.
That
But
world
their brain
it's just it works so damn good,
it works so much quicker.
and we would just pass
Than
them
ours.
off as just simple animals, you know.
And their suction cups on their tentacles, the doctor was saying, just imagine having all your senses on there. Your tongue, finger, your smell and your taste all in one
Oh
place.
my
Jeez.
God.
That's
Yes.
how sensitive
Could
every
you imagine-
single
oh my-
one of those are.
Isn't it?
Let me
isn't
taste
it-
your bowl of soup real quick. get my finger in there.
Yeah.
Every single one of those is that
Isn't it
sensitive.
Isn't it illegal to
Yes.
operate on an octopus?
Yes.
Why is that?
Because of their nervous system is so complex.
So
You can't
complex.
truly know if they're sedated or not.
Oh wow! So they're in pain when you try
Yeah.
to do
Yes.
things like that.
Yeah.
At least we have the humanity enough to know that about them.
Yeah. Yep.
An octopus could literally have the worst. We've watched Harold in Korea, and people were eating octopus straight out of the water, out of these fish tanks, and the guy wasn't cooking them.
No.
He was just cutting them up, and people were just eating them like that.
Yeah, I couldn't watch it.
And they kept wiggling all over their chopsticks and grabbing onto their mouths and lips.
I could. I
And
couldn't
they
watch
just
it.
dipped them in sauce. And
Wow.
that is so wild, bro. Like I couldn't, I don't know. Maybe it's just for certain humans. I'm not going to sit here and point fingers at somebody. It is what it is. You know, we all eat things to stay alive, but I don't think just because she knows a lot about them and now I know, I could never do anything like that.
Right. Well,
They're
because you know
just-
they're intelligent.
Well, they're alive and
Right.
they're going
They're
through
complex.
something. Yeah.
They are just so. I haven't finished watching the documentary. I have to go back and watch a certain episode because I fell asleep watching one of them. I'm just so drained with this stupid cold.
I like the, you know, I know the octopus is that way, but it just goes to show life itself is that way. Like everything
It's so fascinating.
has their way, you know? Like everything.
so
don't know.
fascinating.
It's wild.
Angie says, I used to volunteer at a little aquarium in Santa Monica. There was an octopus there. It fascinated me how it would just morph into its surroundings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Remember that one? The mimic.
Yep. The mimic is dope.
Insane.
It's nothing this octopus can't mimic. Put them to anything.
Insane.
It will look like it. It will even change its texture.
Let me ask you this, and it's parallel. If you're an advanced alien and that's just who you are, right? You have the ability to do what the octopus can do. You just camouflage yourself. That means if the octopus can do it, there could be a bipedal humanoid type thing that can straight up pose as a human.
Yes.
And you would never know.
You would never know.
That's scary. That is very scary. Sarah says, have you heard the interview of the dude on Joe Rogan about the mermaid he saw in Seychelles?
Mm-hmm.
I think I heard something about that.
I didn't.
I don't know.
I heard about that.
Yeah, we'll have to find that episode.
It simply says, octopuses are smart as hell, but they have always scared me since I was a little boy toddler. To this day, that is still the only type of sea creature that I've refused to touch.
Yeah, a boy toddler. A little baby infant.
Look, when I was a little baby infant.
Sarah says, really, that's interesting. You don't remember what caused you to fear them. Simply said, they look scary, and the fact that they latch on until they're ready to let go.
You know
Yeah.
what? The octopus is probably looking at you like you scary. I don't want you touching me either.
Right. It just truly doesn't want to be dealt with. Even the most poisonous one is like, I don't want to deal with people.
Yeah, I'll
Why are
hide.
you wanting to bring this out of me?
Yeah.
I will floor you in 3 seconds. You really want this?
Yeah.
I mean, look at the mimic one, the one they called the mimic. It
Spends his life hiding.
Yeah, it mimics what that particular predator is scared of.
Right.
So it would rather.
I know, bro.
Yeah.
I know.
This
It
is
would-
what you're telling me, Marelyn. Hold on here. Let me process this so fast. I'm not an octopusy. These octopus are so intelligent They know the species in their environment so well because they study them so well. They know what they're afraid of.
Yeah.
That's how well this thing is thinking and observing.
That's
Yes.
scary, bro.
That's scary processing.
Yeah.
And to be able to morph into what its fears are.
Fears are.
But that means when you go in the ocean, more than likely an octopus knows you don't belong in the ocean.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. If it knows what you're afraid of, this thing knows everything about you.
Yeah.
It knows you don't have gills. It knows you have to go up and surface for air.
Right.
There was one I saw. I forget what species what it was, but its eyeballs. It had its own set of muscles, and it was able to have one outside of the water and one inside of the water, and they were both processing different things to the brain at the same time. So it saw a bunch of crab outside, and it was getting ready to try to calculate the best route to hunt for these crabs. So it was watching outside what the crabs were doing, and it was watching in the ocean what the crabs were doing, and it was calculating at the same time what the best route was simultaneously in the water and out of the water.
Able to split his brain in two and think cohesively,
Yes.
unison, and process both.
And once it got the route and it knew what it was going to do, it set off for its plan. It went out of the water because that was the quickest way to get to where it needed to go. And it can only be out of the water for 20 minutes. And it knew it had enough time to get to the spot.
Calculated time and everything.
It knew it had enough time to get to its spot.
Jesus.
So it crawled over the rocks. It made it to the point he needed to go to, jumped into the water, found the little hole in the crevice that he needed to go to, moved the rock that he saw, and manipulated the rock to match the hole so it looked like it was part of the hole, because that's where the crabs up above were jumping into the water. Was right there, right where he was hiding. And so when the crabs were jumping into the water, he can jump out of that little hole and grab them.
Let me tell you something, okay? The species is fascinating. Let's go deeper. Let's say we find a way to communicate with the octopus. And I go to this octopus and I say, hey, man, I know you've been observing the outside of your paradigm, your world outside of the ocean, and you've started to take notice of what we call land and air. What if I told you outside of air, there's this space we can't go to, and it's called space. Let me take you there.
Right.
I'll put you in a tank. We'll get into this ship, and I want to show you stars and the sun and how your planet really survives.
Right.
This octopus, he would soon be able to experience 3 planes of this world, of the actual physical world.
Water, land,
and space. Let me ask you this. We know water and air and space. What if something came down and said, hey, you guys, I've noticed you've been watching the water, your air, and your space, but let me show you what's outside of space.
Space. Oh my God.
What does that look like?
But that would have to, what does that look like? Sarah would probably say, you're looking at 4th and in the 5th dimension. That's something Sarah would say. You guys are now popping out of dimensions, and you're looking at things in the different. You're looking at, and this is something I like looking into, especially with Carl Jung and the Hermetics, is you're looking at sacred geometry.
Right, but how do we imagine this octopus? He's processing this. He's like, oh my God, blowing his mind. You mean those stars are other planets, and around those stars are like oceans like this, and it's just, he's blown away. For us being outside of space, even for the octopus at this point, because we're sharing the same space and time, what does it look like outside of space? Like, does it go on and on and on if I'm thinking linear?
Right. Is it stacked on top of space?
Can you rip out of space and go, oh, like, wow, this is a different type
Right.
of, and just, these concepts are so big.
Everything has a fabric.
Our
you're
brain
saying.
can't even fathom the concept of what that even looks like because we are blocked and limited to even
Right.
think of the possibilities.
So everything has a fabric.
Everything has some sort of barrier.
It's just knowing how to tear through the fabric.
Fabrics.
And I believe that's the sacred geometry that goes unspoken and
Like quantified by math.
right.
Well, math is literally derived on the human notion of how to interpret what we know here on
Yeah,
Earth.
math is
Right.
based on mass.
Yeah,
Period.
Yeah.
We're not mathing right anymore, though.
No, yeah, we're not math.
Math is based on mass, solids, and the tangible.
Yeah.
Period. We're not even going to go to the ether, bruh.
Right. I'm just saying. That's an Earth thing for all we know.
Everything we're thinking of is
An
an Earth thing.
Yeah.
Believe me, there's something more complex than us that's going to come here and be like, oh,
You really don't have any idea what's
you guys
going on
got
out
it
here.
all wrong. I mean, you got a little bit of it,
But let me give you the 99.9% of it.
And that's the thing, too. Like, this is something that we don't think about, and we always think our government is against us. But I literally heard a story of 3 scientists that went into a room on a black budget scientist group because
I thought
they
he said 3 scientists went into a bar.
Yeah. I was
okay.
one was Mexican, one was white, and one was black.
So supposedly 3 of our strongest scientists went in on a black budget science experiment that they needed an outsourced eye on and help. And I believe that happens with black budget scientists. And when these 3 scientists who are not a part of the Black Budget Association, let's just say, they were presented with something that was unearthly, just incomprehensible. And one of the scientists who worked for the black budget company said, now, before we pose these questions and try to formulate critical thinking and problem solving about the situation we have here, it is imperative that you know this. What we are about to tell you may fracture your mind, and you have a huge chance of going crazy, perhaps even suicide. Do you still want to go on with said project with us? And all of them thought, it's impossible. We're scientists. We look at the unexplained. That's what we do, to try and explain it and come up with an answer for it.
I remember this.
The guy said, okay. And I guess they filled out all these waivers. And he said, so how we're going to do this is we're only going to give you a little bit of the information to see how you're going to handle the whole thing that we understand currently and what we're having an issue with. They gave each scientist just a little bit about what's going on. All 3 of them but one killed themselves with no explanation, no rhyme, no reason. Just when they got that information, they literally, and it wasn't the same day, but it was so much and so impactful, they killed themselves. And the only one who didn't is the one that's telling the fucking story. And he wished he didn't know that bit of information.
Did he tell what the information
He
was?
did not. because in fear of people really knowing even a inkling of what's going on may fracture your mind.
Okay, so my question would be, why tell the story?
Why? Because I think sometimes what's good for the gander ain't always good for the goose. And be careful what you're asking for, because there may be a perfectly good reason as to why we're being shut out on so many things.
So you're saying he's putting that out there just to detour people from searching what they really want to know?
I'm saying I think he's saying you need to be very careful
Or what you asked for.
of what you want to know.
But doesn't that seem kind of like fishy that he would say that? That'd be a good way for somebody to detour people from asking questions by putting it into fear.
But if it's so profound, it shocks majority of the people.
I mean, this is hearsay. We
It's
have
hearsay.
We
It's
have no
pure
no factual
zero,
evidence that this even took place. That it's just some story.
Zero. That's why I brought it up, so we can entertain the thought of it. When you said bring the octopus out of water, in my mind, the octopus goes into shock and just like has a catastrophic freaking meltdown as to what it's viewing, why it's viewing it, and what its future looks like.
But it doesn't. It adapts and it goes, I'm going to hunt a crab on this goddamn team, and I got 20 minutes to do it.
But that's just a little,
right.
that's just a little portion
I get
of
what
it.
you're saying. I get what you're saying. If this is true, and two of the scientists killed themselves, and he's saying you don't want to know what's going on because this could happen to you, I think by the time, for me, if I make it to a rightful old age, I'm curious, but I'm not that curious if this is true.
Right.
Tell me, I would like to know then.
After you lived the life?
After I lived a good life, I'd entertain it.
I just want to know what was so bad for them to do that.
And that's why I would entertain it.
What could you possibly hear to just remotely go, oh, end of life?
Sarah said, so did the people who recruited the scientists know the story?
They did not until they were recruited and told.
No. The people who recruited.
Oh, yes. They were able to handle it, and they're trying to figure out issues with what they know, and they're trying to bring people into it because they can't do it. But like they're hoping that there's someone out there who can handle it and help problem solve whatever this issue is. And that's the only way they can go about it. But clearly it hasn't, and I mean, we don't know, but it hasn't broken their mainframe to where they wanted to off themselves. They were like the one who didn't out of the three. They're the one who didn't.
What if it's something like, I don't know, it could be anything at this point, so I can't even start there. It would just be my own imagination.
But what would it be to have you go immediately and go, like, according to the story, no more than a couple of days that passed, and they offed themselves.
Maybe something like asteroid Apophis comes.
Okay, but this was years ago, bro. Like, you would think.
I'm just saying.
It was like something that was coming while they're still alive or in their lifetime.
Right.
You know?
Right.
If it's not coming within their lifetime, why would you go, now let somebody else worry about it? I won't be around to see it.
But I'll help you try to figure this out.
Right.
Yeah, that's just...
if it's that profound for you to go end of life, man.
And well, it goes back to, damn, who are these strong people that are like okay with it and trying to figure it out if it's that fragile?
Can you try to find that? I don't know where we saw it, but it was a documentary on this. I don't even know how we would look it up.
I don't even remember.
But we were really fortunate to watch it because
three scientists told a secret or something.
Man,
I didn't even know if it was on YouTube.
Yeah, I don't think it was on. Maybe it wasn't on YouTube.
Everything's on YouTube. You can find everything.
Yeah, but it was the way this dude looked and how concerned he was about just life. He said it was based on life. It was based on the life of people, and the design of models and things like. He couldn't go into it, but he said it's.
Well, if he's so worried about it, or if I don't know. To me, it all goes back. If it's something that's going to be detrimental to us all,
Yeah.
me being me, I'm giving it to people. I don't give a shit.
Right.
This is what we're up against. Calling all cars.
Right.
This is the only way I can get it out fast enough to see who's out there that can possibly help us.
But what if it's not anything detrimental to life? You ever think about that? Like, here's the thing. We don't know.
And if you don't know and you need help,
Yeah.
you don't have the luxury of picking and choosing, going around finding the smartest scientist when you may not get an answer from a scientist.
But if they have a census already and the census says they're killing themselves upon getting said information, that's not a good thing, bro.
It's not, but I'm saying you don't have the luxury of taking your time to go pick scientists. You could probably find the answer in a fucking poet.
I'm going to go devote a little time to see if I can't backtrack where
A deep thinker can probably have the answer.
I saw this, where I saw this guy. Literally had millions of views, and the comment section was like, I've heard this story, and people of
So
stature.
you probably saw it on YouTube.
Probably. More than likely.
So, quick fun fact: the octopus doesn't have one brain.
How many? 2?
It has one brain on its head, and each tentacle has a brain.
Damn.
That's beautiful.
Do you know what color its blood is?
Blue.
Yeah. Do you know why?
Oxygen.
Why?
Oxygen?
Nope. Do you know why it's blue?
It's a gas that makes it blue?
Hang on.
Why is ours red?
I don't know, because the hemoglobin is red? The blood cells?
The what is red?
The hemoglobin is red? I don't.
That's
Right-
right. That's
right?
correct. Yeah.
Their hemoglobin is blue?
So their blood is predominantly copper-based protein.
Oh, it goes by the protein.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah. So the copper-based protein is more efficient at transporting oxygen molecules in cold and low oxygen conditions. So it's ideal for life in the ocean.
Beautiful.
Damn.
That's beautiful.
That is a
But that's their world. It makes complete sense.
right.
Yeah.
That's a perfect design.
Yeah.
They are beautifully designed.
Yep. Isn't that amazing?
At what point do we not look at how well all of us and everything on this planet has been designed?
Mm-hmm.
I really want to have a conversation with an octopus. I probably wouldn't be able to comprehend all the smarts that it can process.
Like I said, if there's any alien activity, they're not coming to people for questions. They're going straight into the ocean. They're talking to dolphins and octopuses.
Yeah.
Obviously.
How many hearts do they have?
I'm going to say for each tentacle. If it has a brain for each, it has to have a heart for each.
Lamar,
It makes sense to me.
they have 3.
3 hearts?
And octopus's 3 hearts have slightly different roles. One heart circulates blood around the body, while the other 2 pump it past the gills to pick up oxygen.
I love it.
This is a well-lubed machine. Can you imagine how much data it processes just by laying its tentacles on the ground?
3 times as fast as our neurons do.
Right. And I love how their lungs are external. Like fishes, their lungs
Right.
are external.
Yep. It's why I'm just fascinated.
I think I saw an octopus in a Coke bottle, or it looked at a Coke bottle
And squeezed
It
its
touched
ass
it
in
and
there.
was like, "Oh, I can get in and out of this thing."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it
remember
was
that.
an old bottle in the ocean. An old broken bottle on the seafloor.
And it got right in there, no
Uh-huh.
problem.
And it squeezed itself in there.
I would talk to an octopus and go, dude, my guy, okay, we're buddies. There's this little round gold coin. And there's a bunch of them out there. Could you just help me out and just, find as many as you can? You would normally find these things around a sunken ship.
Particularly, find me the Spaniard ones.
Yes.
Bring them back and I'll have crabs for you.
Not only will I have crabs for you, but if you don't want to live in the ocean and you want a big old vibrarium, I'm your guy. I'll bring you home, sir. You will never live in fear for your life ever again.
And all you will do is feed and have conversation with that big old brain of yours.
Yeah. Fascinating. Well,
You don't
what do
play a
say?
tune? Yeah, get out of here.
Play some music?
I'm sure we've did our due diligence with
Running our mouths.
politics and oceanography
Yeah.
or marine biology.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
This is what I love about life. Talking about all of this stuff and from a layman's mind
Yeah.
on trying to figure it out without reading a book and
Right.
without talking to an expert.
Just let your imagination go wild.
I love doing that more than anything.
Yes.
From a bunch of two
Yeah.
monkeys.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Ask more questions
Yeah.
and get out there
And
love your mama.
Yeah, that too. These guys. I tell you. Okay, what are they? What's in the comments? What? Who said what? There might be people without empathy. Oh yeah.
What's that?
Oh, those the people that know whatever you were talking about.
yeah.
Yeah, Sarah said they might be people without empathy. They can compartmentalize. I have to say that so slow,
Yeah, I know.
or it won't come out right. Risky said, I know quite a few people like that. Sarah says, yeah, they're scary in my opinion. Yes, very scary. Yes, indeed.
I'm gonna do my best for the good ability of the people and find that damn thing I was watching so we can get it out there. You might want to help me, Daryl. I know we can find it.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was.
We just got to put a little bit of effort.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look for it tonight, but I ain't gonna look at shit until I'm done watching the octopus documentary.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
Literally,
fun.
octopus know how to fandangle down there.
This camera's acting up again.
Is it? You need to
Yeah.
feed it some power, babe. You need to really get that thing on there.
I know.
Yeah. Okay.
So we got 2 right now.
Good night, everybody.